You don't get what you want in 2026. You get who you are. And who you are is a specific frequency. Every thought, every emotional pattern, every story. It's all broadcasting a signal. Most people try to force their reality to change without ever changing that signal. But today, we're going to use Neurographica to manually adjust the dial. So frequency you're transmitting actually matches the reality you want to experience. As you watch the page today, notice the difference. This is static, and this is a tuned signal. Let's create that signal together. Whether you're watching to soothe your nervous system or drawing along with me, all you need is a marker and some paper. So let's begin. Go ahead and write 2026 at the center of your page. Now, instead of thinking in terms of goals, which mostly live in the mind, I want you to shift into something deeper, states of being. Ask yourself, how do I want my life to feel? Choose 3 feelings. These aren't just emotions, they're frequencies. Maybe it's ease, maybe it's abundance, maybe it's vitality. Write them down around the center. These are the stations that we're tuning into. There's no right or wrong here. Trust what your body responds to. Place each feeling on your page as a closed shape. And of course, let's add some resources, those energy pockets that really facilitate our manifestation. I'm representing those using circles on my page. Neurographic lines act like carrier waves. They move information. They connect intention with possibility. Begin drawing lines that flow through the words and shapes you've written. As you draw, imagine that you are physically pulling this frequency, ease, abundance, vitality, pulling it out of the field of potential and into form. If your hand shakes, if the line feels jagged, that's not a mistake. That's actually interference releasing. Keep drawing until the line finds its flow. You're not forcing the line, you're allowing it to reorganize. Every sharp corner on this page represents static, a place of friction between where you are now and where you want to be. When we round these intersections, we're not fixing the drawing, we're resolving internal conflict. If you're drawing along, let this be a slow process. If you're watching, notice what happens in your body as the corners soften. Here's something important. Many people drop out right here because their mind gets bored. This is actually the moment where coherence begins to lock in. If you're watching, see if you can spot the moment when the drawing visibly relaxes. That's the signal stabilizing. You cannot manifest a clear reality with a noisy signal. Rounding smooths out the noise. Color is visible frequency. There's no wrong choice here, only resonance. If vitality was one of your words, what color does that frequency feel like to you? Maybe it's a warm coral, or maybe it's orange. Maybe it's something completely unexpected. As you add color, visualize it vibrating through your body. Let the color move across boundaries. This shows integration, not compartmentalization. We're not separating parts of life, we're harmonizing them. You're amplifying the signal right now. Now at this point, you have a stronger personal signal, but manifestation expands when you connect to something larger. These thicker field lines represent the universal grid, the currents of support that already exist. You don't have to create everything alone. When your personal frequency synchronizes with these field lines, synchronicities begin to happen. You meet the right person, the right opportunity appears, the timing aligns. This is what support looks like. And of course, to fully align with the support, we want to make sure that each of our field lines is well-rounded and well integrated to any lines that it crosses. As you observe your drawing, you may also notice that there are areas that seem a bit blank or disconnected from the main part of the drawing. These are perfect places to add some small, fine accessory lines. Before we move into finishing touches, we're going to affix this drawing. Affixing is how we signal to the subconscious that this frequency is complete and available. Trace over a few key lines, especially where your main frequencies connect. You want to create a closed shape that becomes the focal energy for your manifestation. As you do this, silently acknowledge, this state of being is now familiar to me. This is what turns the drawing from a process into an anchor. And of course, in true Neurographica fashion, anywhere the lines have crossed, make sure again everything is well rounded and well integrated. The final step is optional, but it helps the frequency feel embodied. I'm using graphite to add areas of shadow and light, not as decoration, but as dimension. Shadow gives the form weight, and light brings breath. You might deepen an area that you want to feel more grounded, or soften the edges of what wants more space. This isn't about making your drawing pretty, it's about helping the frequency feel real. Take a moment and really look at your drawing. This is no longer just paper, it's a frequency anchor. Place it somewhere you'll see it often, especially in the morning. You can meditate with it, let your eyes soften, let your breath settle. And as your frequency evolves, you can return, add more lines, round new intersections, deepen areas of light and shadow. Alignment is never static, it grows as you do. I would love to hear about your experience. Which frequency word was the hardest to draw? That's often where the greatest shift begins. Let me know in the comments. If this kind of manifestation art speaks to you, be sure to subscribe and follow along. I'll be sharing more Draw With Me frequency experiences throughout the coming year. And if you'd like to create in community, I warmly invite you to join the Luminous Soul Art Circle, where we gather to draw, align, and explore this work together. Thank you for being here, and thank you for tuning your signal with me.